It's 11 at night. The thing is due at midnight. And for the first time in 3 weeks, you're calm, fast, clear, the work pouring out of you like it had been sitting there the whole time. Now rewind. You had 3 whole weeks for this. 21 days, wide open, and you have almost nothing to show for them. Those weeks weren't lazy, exactly. You opened the file. You made a start. You made 4 different starts, and you kept none of them. And here's the part that should bother you. Tonight's work, the 4-hour, last-second version, is better than anything those 3 weeks produced. Not just faster. Better. You didn't get more talented at 11 at night. So you tell yourself the only thing that seems to fit, I just work best under pressure. Hold on to that. It's wrong, and what's actually true is far more useful. Because if pressure were the secret ingredient, the relaxed you from 3 weeks ago should still have been good, just calmer. Same brain. Same skill. Same hands. The last minute didn't hand you talent you didn't have at noon. It handed you access to talent that was locked all along. The question is what was holding the lock. So let's follow one mechanism all the way down. Not what the deadline adds, what it takes away. And why taking that one thing away makes you better. Start with a simple picture. Every task you sit down to is a room, and you're in it, and the work is in there with you. But every one of these rooms has a second door. A back door. And there's one word painted on it, later. As long as that back door is open, you are never fully in the room. Part of you is always standing in the doorway, 1 foot out, keeping the exit warm. This isn't laziness and it isn't weakness. It's just what a mind does when it has somewhere else it's allowed to go. So picture those 3 weeks again. The back door wasn't just open. It was wide open, every single day, propped with a chair. Every time the work got hard, you didn't quit, you just drifted toward the door. Just for a second. Just to check that later was still there. And later was always still there. 20 more days of it. So you never had to actually be in the room. You could hover. Here's the first cost of an open back door, and it's the one you can feel. You cannot give your whole attention to a path you can still abandon. Some fraction of you is always held in reserve, kept back near the exit, in case you need it. And the work only ever gets the fraction that's left. That's why the 3-week work felt thin. It wasn't that you tried and failed. It's that you never sent your whole self in. You can't, while the door's open. Now the second cost, and this one you can't feel at all. The open door quietly powers a voice in your head, the one that vetoes everything you make. Every idea you have, that voice inspects, and says the same thing, not good enough, you'll do better later. And it's allowed to say that only because later exists. Kill the door and you kill the voice. But while the door stands open, the veto has infinite ammunition. Every good enough thing gets shot down for a better thing that never has to arrive. So an open exit does 2 things at once. It splits your attention, and it arms your inner critic. Both run on the exact same fuel, the belief that there's still a way out. And this isn't a metaphor I'm stretching. A team ran the experiment. Ari and Shin, at MIT, built a little computer game made of rooms and doors. Each door led to a room that paid you money. The smart move was obvious, pick one good room, stay, and earn. Instead, watch what people actually did. If you ignored a door too long, it began to shrink, slowly closing, as if that option were dying. And people could not stand it. They abandoned the room they were already earning in and rushed across the screen, clicking, just to keep the dying door open. Over and over. For nothing. They earned measurably less than the people who picked one room and let the others close. They paid, in real money, for the feeling of keeping their options open. That's the whole trap in one experiment. Keeping the exit open is not free. It has a price, and you pay it in the quality of everything you do while it stays open. Your 3 weeks were that game. For half-started drafts were 4 doors you kept alive so none of them could disappoint you. And you paid for it, in exactly the way they did. So now, finally, the deadline. And here's what it actually does, which is almost the opposite of what you think. You believe the deadline adds pressure. Pressure that squeezes the good work out of you, like juice from a fruit. It doesn't add anything. It removes something. At 1 minute to midnight, the back door, the one marked later, is bricked shut. There is no later left to stand in. And the instant the exit is gone, everything that was leaking out of it comes flooding back. Your attention has nowhere else to go, so all of it turns and faces the work. The voice that vetoes goes silent too. It can't say do it better later, there is no later. Good enough is suddenly the best offer on the table, so you take it, and you commit. That's the calm you felt at 11 at night. Not a hit of adrenaline. The opposite, the quiet of a mind that finally has nowhere else to be. All your attention, in one place. Your critic, switched off. Full commitment, forced. That convergence already has a name you use for it, you call it your best work. It was never the pressure. It was the wall. The last minute is just the moment the wall finally goes up on its own. Now, one honest complication, because it matters. Those 3 weeks weren't completely empty. Underneath, quietly, your mind was still chewing on the problem. But chewing isn't shipping. The thinking happened in the background, and none of it could come out while the door stood open. The deadline didn't grow the work. It harvested it. So the 3 weeks did do something. They just couldn't deliver anything until the exit closed and forced the delivery. Growth in the dark, harvest at the wall. Which means I work best under pressure is half true and badly aimed. You don't work best under pressure. You work best behind a wall. Pressure is just the ugly way you've been building it. And building it that way is a genuinely bad deal. When the wall only goes up at the true last second, 3 other things come up with it. First, panic. Real fear rides in on the real deadline, and fear narrows you. Some of that flooding attention gets spent just managing the dread. Second, no room to fix a real mistake. Commit at 1 minute to midnight and a genuine wrong turn ships anyway, because there's no minute left to catch it. Third, it only works when the stakes are outside you. The wall goes up because someone else is waiting. On your own private projects, the ones only you would miss, no wall ever comes. That's why the novel never gets written and the side project never ships. Not laziness. There's simply no one to brick the door, so it never closes, and the veto never runs out of ammunition. So the last minute works, but at full price, panic, no margin, and only ever for other people's deadlines. You've been getting the wall and taking all the damage that comes with building it late. Here's the turn. If it was never the pressure, if it was only ever the wall, then you don't have to wait for the last minute to build one. You can put the wall up whenever you choose. That's the one lever this whole thing leaves you. Not more discipline. Not more pressure. Just this, close the exit on purpose, early, before the panic has to. But it has to be a real wall. And this is where almost everyone gets it wrong, so stay with me for a second. A deadline you set for yourself and can move is not a wall. It's a paper door. You know you can push through it, so part of you stays standing in it and the attention never converges. The mind only closes the exit when the exit is truly, unnegotiably shut. It has to cost something real to reopen. That's the entire test of whether a wall will hold. So the move is to borrow a wall from the outside world, on purpose, before you need it. Make later genuinely unavailable for a bounded stretch of time. The strongest version is a witness. Tell one person the thing lands in their hands at a named time, not soon, not this week, but Thursday, 6 o'clock. Now the door has someone standing on the other side of it. You can also ship in public, or start a session with a hard external stop, a room you have to leave, a call that will begin anything you cannot quietly renegotiate with yourself the moment it bites. The point is never the pressure it creates. The point is the exit it removes. You are not trying to scare yourself. You are trying to run out of doors. And keep the wall small enough that you can always afford to build it. One sealed room, 25 minutes, one task, the phone left outside, that's a real wall you can raise on any ordinary Tuesday. Small and real beats big and fake every time. A 25-minute room you actually can't leave will outproduce a whole afternoon with the back door propped open. So watch what changes. The next time the work is due in an hour and the clarity arrives, calm, fast, everything converging, pay attention to what that feeling actually is. It isn't the clock. It isn't the fear. It's you, with the exit finally gone, doing exactly what you could always do the moment there was nowhere else to go. That person, the calm, fast, committed one at 11 at night, was never a different, better version of you that only pressure could summon. It's just you, in the one condition where you finally stop hedging. Same skill you had 3 weeks ago. The only thing that ever changed was the door. So you don't need to become more disciplined to do your best work earlier. You need to stop leaving yourself a way out. Every open exit is an invitation to send in only part of yourself. Every closed one is permission to send in all of it. And you get to be the one who closes it. Not the clock. Not the panic. You, ahead of time, in daylight, on your own terms. You will still feel the pull toward later. That pull never fully leaves. But now you'll know exactly what it is, not a flaw in you, just an open door doing what open doors do. And you'll know the fix isn't to fight the pull. It's to remove the door the pull leads to. Close the exit, and there's nothing left to be pulled toward. So tomorrow, before you sit down to the thing you keep almost starting, build one small wall first. Tell someone. Set the hard stop. Seal one room for 25 minutes. Then walk to the desk with no way out behind you, and watch the same calm, fast, committed person show up hours before any deadline could have forced them. You were never someone who only works at the last minute. You're someone who works beautifully the moment there's no exit. And now you know how to take the exit away anytime you decide to be that person.